Barely a week after Russian President Vladimir Putin assured Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko that Minsk would be armed with Oreshnik missiles, signs suggest the weapons may already be in Belarus. This development comes against the backdrop of heightened military activity near Belarus's borders, particularly in Poland and Lithuania. Lukashenko, speaking in Borisov on Tuesday, declared Belarus's autonomy in determining the targets for Oreshnik missiles deployed on its soil. He emphasized that any decision to launch the missiles would be a joint action with Moscow.
Surely there is no antidote for such a weapon. It can be neither intercepted nor shot down. Now we are choosing sites to deploy these weapons. We have about 30 such sites. We will choose the ones closest to the targets. We will deploy them and select targets. As you may have noticed, I laid down only one condition to Putin. We, Belarus, will determine the targets, not Russia. But it will help us to use the weapons. In other words, we will press the button together, if necessary, God forbid.
He further clarified that while the missile itself is Russian, the launcher is a product of Belarusian expertise, symbolizing the country's significant role in its defense strategy.
In Oreshnik, the entire launcher is Belarusian, except for the missile. The localization is the highest. I told him, the Russian president, we are not raising the issue of the missile. If necessary, we will do it together. We have enough competence in this area. We will help, as we did with the nuclear power plant, and we will produce the launcher. MZKT, Minsk Wheel Tractor Plant, makes more serious things. So let's work together.
Lukashenko also highlighted the missile's already demonstrated destructive power, particularly its strike against a Ukrainian military-industrial complex, obliterating an underground facility with a single hit.
I have warned all my enemies, friends, and rivals. If you step on the country's borderline, the response will be immediate. I will not look at whether it is a nuclear weapon or something else. We agreed on this with the Russians even before they returned our nuclear weapons. This is not the same weapon that we gave them. Those were strategic weapons. These are tactical nuclear weapons, which are probably 5 times more powerful than the Oreshnik. But nuclear weapons are very serious. And this is a conventional weapon, which does not infect objects, territories, and so on, but its power is enormous, as shown by its hit on the Yuzhmash plant, military-industrial complex in Ukraine, where, among other things, missile weapons were produced in the Soviet Union. A huge plant, 4 or 5 floors underground. It is gone.
He further emphasized Belarus's autonomy, noting that while the Oreshnik missile itself is Russian, the decision to deploy and target it remains firmly in the hands of Belarus. The deployment of Oreshnik comes at a time of increasing geopolitical friction. Earlier this month, the US announced plans to station long-range missiles, including hypersonic weapons, in Germany by 2026. This move has been perceived as a counterbalance to Russia's military maneuvers in Eastern Europe. Meanwhile, Putin reiterated Russia's commitment to strengthening its nuclear doctrine during a meeting of the Council for Civil Society and Human Rights in Moscow. He argued that the advanced capabilities of Oreshnik missiles could render the use of nuclear weapons unnecessary, emphasizing Russia's cautious approach to escalation.
We are not tightening nuclear doctrine, we are improving it. Furthermore, it is not the nuclear doctrine that we need to improve now. but the Oreshnik system, because if you sort it out, a sufficient number of these advanced weapons systems make the use of nuclear weapons unnecessary. This is why we are exercising caution and restraint across all areas. However, where it is essential, we demonstrate the necessary resolve at both the state level and among the citizens of the Russian Federation.
Putin's remarks on the Oreshnik system echoed a broader shift in the military strategies of Moscow and Minsk, signaling a preference for precision over escalation. With Belarus actively deploying these advanced weapons and asserting its autonomy in targeting decisions, the alliance between the two nations seems poised to challenge the existing security architecture in Eastern Europe.